Welcome back to Under Oath. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Sitting next to me is my good friend, comedian James Yon.
What's going on, my friend?
Every once in a while, I go down a stupid rabbit hole, and I get caught doing stupid things like streaming old shows. That'll suck up. Also, once you start watching a certain type of video, that's all you have in your feed now.
You know what mine's filled.
Yeah, you're bad now. You're stuck.
Horrible. Yeah, I'm stuck. It's all I know my rights cop videos. That's all I got.
Yeah. And I hate those.
Why do you hate them?
Because that normally doesn't happen. They just find the one Q-tip that...
Wait a minute.
It's like,
first off,
it's Beaker.
I'm going to tell you the law I live by. If anyone has a gun, I don't argue with them.
No.
Simple tip.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. No, sir.
I don't screw around.
No.
I've been in the system long enough. You lose. It is a lose-lose.
You don't win that fight.
They're going, oh, well, you know what? I was found not guilty. You had to go to court.
Pay fees.
You had to pay an attorney.
Yes.
You were looking at bad stuff because you decided you were more important. It's the principle. It's never the principle.
No.
I want you, as an attorney who practiced law for over 30 years, let me tell you this. People, it's never the principle. Thou shalt not kill, a principle.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not offend me, not a principle.
No, it's not. He was rude to me.
I didn't like the way he had a tone.
He had a tone about it.
He had a tone.
I didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
You can't talk to me that way.
It's like arguing with your spouse. You're not doing it for the principle.
No, you're not.
You're doing it to win.
That's correct.
I want to win.
Can I tell you a secret?
You lose.
Never won.
No. Ever.
Never won.
Ever.
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 Yeah.
Because when you win, you lose.
That's right.
Because later on, oh, you won that argument?
I got you.
And then they walk around in a funk all day and you're going, oh, this is what winning feels like.
When the cabinets in the kitchen started getting slammed, posture, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It's a part of my routine. I do the asthmatic cat.
Yeah.
She's mad.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't really get why, as a man, I need to win at home.
Because in life, we get our butts kicked, proverbially sometimes. So we want to win at least at home, right?
But we know we're losing.
Well, we do.
We do.
Sometimes we just do it for the principle.
Big dumb animal. Big dumb animal.
Yes.
BDA.
Yes. I never have won, man. Never.
I'm trying to think. No. Ever.
No. So shout out to my wife, Michelle. I love you.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Well, they feed us.
They do feed us.
But you feed her too.
I'm a cook at home. You know, I do most of the cooking. Yes, I do.
Ooh.
So I'm today.
Mr. Mom. Yeah.
I am. Yeah. Thank you very much. I got my own apron and everything.
Yeah. Big picture of James on it. Smiling James with the thumbs up on the apron. We should get that one done.
And it says, I know my rights.
I know my rights.
And it says she knows
shut up or no dinner.
She knows her lefts. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, next time you get in a fight, you want to eat?
I will say that's the one thing that I found that really works on a woman when she's angry. Food. Most of the time they're hungry.
But I take her out though.
Yeah.
I'll cook something for you. I go, let's go out.
There you go. They love going out.
Yeah.
You say we're going out.
Out is better than in.
That's true.
Unless it's with people. Then you go, I'd rather be in than with certain people.
Gotcha.
You ever have that couple who wants to do something with you?
Yeah.
And you have to tell them, and they want to make friends with you?
They do.
Hey, we should do something. We should do something. We should do something. You know what? We should do something. And both you and the person you're with have that eye.
Yep. There's a signal they give you.
I swear to God.
If you say yes,
if you commit to anything.
Unless
no 1002.
Unless it's her idea. Then we're all in. Yeah. But most of the time, I love you guys out there, but no.
Okay. Yeah. No. No. Don't commit. I hate when they go, hey, Jeff. Nope.
I've learned to say no sometimes, though, because I've always been the yes guy. Now I'm learning to say no.
Yeah. Let's look into that.
Yeah. You know what? I'll get back with you.
If they say the word circle back, not happening.
Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah, let's circle back. Nope.
I'm not doing it.
See, a pin in it kind of lets them know we ain't doing it. But hey, you know what? Let's circle back
to that.
You know what? Get with me on that.
Because we all have that friend.
Hey, email me. My schedule's really rough. You got to email me sometime next week.
Yeah. We always run into that one person that you don't see very often, but they're always like, we got to get together.
We got to get together.
You're like, yeah, we got to
we're doing that.
We never do that.
All right. We got to do the law stuff.
We do. It's time for
law
Legally
stuff.
Screwed. There you go.
Put the big red law stuff.
This is a good one, by the way.
Okay.
Cashier fired for stopping my great aunt from buying IRS scam iTunes cards. Is that legal?
Hold on. There's a lot in that.
That was a lot.
What was it?
Cashier gets fired for stopping my great aunt from buying IRS scam iTunes cards.
How do you get fired for that?
Well, I'm about to tell you how. Here we go.
Okay.
Well, my 70-year-old great aunt fell for the IRS gift card scam. A cashier realized what was happening, called the police, and stopped her from spending $700. The next day, the cashier was fired for costing the company a sale and denied unemployment.
No.
Can the store legally fire her for doing this? And can she fight it?
Yes, they can legally do it because that's not in her job to play cop. But at the same time, crap pay.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. When somebody gets on me about something, a company makes a mistake, product liability, or they do bad stuff, and it might not be technically a violation or you don't want to affect your reputation because you spend a lot of money marketing for your reputation.
Makes sense.
And in this situation, this store suddenly got a lot of good PR that was clearly worth more than what they would make selling this card. So the idea that some manager was so short-sighted, Disney.
Oh my God. That's what we're doing.
I'm still,
That's what we're doing.
I'm still a little bitter.
Okay, here we go.
I'm still a little bitter.
I understand.
I lost my gig.
I understand.
I lost my gig 25 years ago and I still ain't forgiven them.
You would still be there, wouldn't you?
I would still be working at
I know
Disney.
you would be.
I'm sorry. Disney let me go because of the Tigger trial.
Because you won.
I saved Tigger.
Yes.
You know, and it was over. Nobody ever thought of him in a negative way again. But if I would have lost,
it would have been bad.
Those jokes would have lasted forever. Ever.
Yes.
Ever.
And that would have changed how they do.
Now, I love Disney, but
I know
we
you
have
do.
a love-hate.
But if you lost, that would have changed how they do everything with those characters.
They had pulled all the merchandise and all the costumes that night.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what I'm saying, type in Kaufman and Tigger. Be very careful. I'm saying the word Tigger. Tigger.
I love how you were very good with your diction when you said Tigger.
And it's a hard R. Okay.
My Tigger.
Okay.
All right.
They can't fire you.
No.
Even for you trying to protect a guest, because that's not your job.
Okay.
Your job isn't to investigate why they're buying something.
Gotcha.
But here's the thing. Banks do it. Everyone does it. When I try to transfer money, I get a call.
Yes.
Or when I go into the bank myself, when I'm transferring money, they go, what is this for? Because they want to make sure I'm not getting scammed.
Correct.
Yes, it is not as serious as a bank, but I can tell you, I've seen people who work for law firms get burned on these scams.
Really?
I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, we have to, this guy called and he says we have to send a client this thing. Well, no. What are you talking about? And they're they get all your information.
They're good.
They're solid.
They're good.
So yes, you absolutely can get fired. You were a good person. I can promise you this, your karma will carry you into the next job. I'm sure there's probably 20 different job offers for you because you are a solid person.
Correct. And
you were looking out for people. You weren't trying to hurt your company. It wasn't like you tried to buy an item at the supermarket and you said, oh, there's too much MSG in this or too much salt.
No.
You weren't killing the product you were selling. You were just making sure that a person wasn't being taken advantage of.
And that could have been anybody. That could have been my grandmother. That could have been my mother. Thank God for her. And I have a belief that the universe is going to find this woman a better job.
I mean, people get scammed all the time.
They do.
You're in a situation where every email, and here's the thing, people, if you didn't request anything, never, ever, ever, ever trust an email.
I'm with you.
Ever.
I'm with you.
And here's the deal. Like if your credit card company calls and says, I noticed you did this charge. You take your card, you look at the back and you get the number from the back of the card. Don't click on the number there. Do not click on the number from email. Get the actual company itself, their main line.
Correct.
Do not use anything else. If somebody calls you on the phone and says they're from somebody, they're not.
They're not. Yeah.
Okay? Say, and if they go, well, this is emergency, this is fraud. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call you back with the official number. And they will, and if it is an actual fraud thing, the minute you call, it'll push you to the fraud department.
Correct.
They always do. Do not dial a phone number from an email.
Correct.
You're asking to get burned and you're going to get burned. Do not do that. Do not answer. No matter how close it is. Oh, yeah, I have this product. I realized how much I'm spending and how much I'm getting scammed. I had to go to Apple to look at how many subscriptions I had.
How many did you have?
Ridiculous, because I clicked on the wrong thing.
And you get lost in all the wording because it looks like, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to do this. And then you click yes.
I bought a service called Cloud.
Okay.
And it's a great app.
Okay.
And I'm not paid by this company. They will set up a VPN for you.
Okay.
They will set up an email address for you.
Okay.
Everything else like that. And it'll check all the places that has your information.
Mm-hmm.
There are 180 databases that was selling my information that they wiped.
How did we get on that? How do
I'm not gonna say it, but here, every time one of these companies asks for your email when you're checking out, hey, can I get your email address? No.
Okay.
And they go, well, we don't sell it. Liars.
They do.
They sell it. They absolutely do every time.
Yeah.
And if you want to sue me, oh, I'm from Skybuy, and say we don't sell it. Yeah.
Yes, you do.
You know, one of the biggest revenue generating streams in the world is selling information.
Yeah.
We're talking $1 billion industry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this company's not going to sell yours? Hell yeah.
Every company's going to do it.
Every company's doing it. They get $1 a piece for an email address. You go to a convention, for example, I do Comic-Con.
Yeah.
There's 7 different companies contacting me, asking me if I want all the people who are coming's email address and information.
Wow.
Yeah. And they want to charge me $1,500 for it.
Good Lord.
Because they know if I send out a mass email, I could get a lot of sales from
potentially
it.
You can get more money from it. Yeah.
So every event you go to,
mm-hmm.
every movie you go to, every pass, every this,
mm-hmm.
Be
every
careful.
Every app you sign up for.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Run. Hide your information. And have a nice day. This is my partner, Craig Lind. We're going to do our best to break this down from a legal standpoint, and we're going to talk about the death of Renee Good. I refer to it as the death because every issue in a case where somebody gets run over or hurt or any scenario like that, you need to look at it from a legal standpoint. You can't just automatically assume it was a murder or it was a self-defense killing or anything. So we're going to break this down based on all the videos. That means all the videos, not just one video, not from a broadcaster's point of view, not from my opinion, not by my religious or political beliefs, but from what the facts are in the case and our legal opinions based on that. I'm sure you've seen the videos, Craig.
I've seen multiple videos from multiple angles. And I can't, you know what's irritating about social media nowadays is you can't ever get just the clean video without somebody talking over it.
Yeah.
You always have to hear someone's opinion and their slant while it's going on.
Or there are
a lot of times I turn the volume off and just try and watch.
What I hate about it is the more videos you see and the more facts you get, you realize how wrong everyone is. Oh, this person was here because of this. This person was not doing anything. This person was minding their own business. This person came from here. This person lived here and moved here. This person, by the time you get the full story, it's no longer news. It very rarely is right in the first hour because we don't get it.
It's almost always wrong in the first hour.
It's painful.
You're never going to understand what's happening in the first hour.
Now, I've seen 7 different videos. And like I said, you're right. I'm so sick of listening to people talk over it. And then everyone's there in pressure. Oh, they were backing up. They didn't move forward. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. I'm going, hold on. How about we just try to figure this out without spin? We can't do it. It's impossible. Hell, you and I had an argument before we started this because I said to you, listen, we are going to take whatever feelings we have out of this and base it solely on what we have. And not information. There's information out there that when Trump got elected, they got mad and moved to Canada. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if she was married. They're telling me she's married. I don't know. I got to base it on what I see.
Well, yeah, you have to find a news source that you find trustworthy, which is a monumental task nowadays after everything we've been through for the last 4 or 5 years.
I don't think we look for something we trust. We don't look for something we trust. We look for something that has our side.
Yeah, and it's not a coincidence. I just watched a football game last night, and the people I was watching the football game with, we all had a different opinion on what we saw. Some of us saw a guy make a catch inbounds, and some of us saw a guy make a catch that was out of bounds. And whether the video didn't change, the placement of the guy's foot didn't change. The only thing that was different is which team we wanted to win.
Yeah.
That's how we saw that foot. That's how you see this video. What team do you want to win? If you want a particular team to win, you can find something in the video that's going to support your side.
The fact is that this did not happen by accident. This car was parked there about 3 minutes in the middle of the road. The intention was a protest. This is determined because when Rebecca Good confronts the ICE officer who wound up shooting her wife, she said, "You'll see me later. Don't worry about the plates. We don't change our plates out, and you'll see me. You'll see the same plate later.
When you come talk to me tomorrow, it'll still be the same plate." Some words to that effect. Later. I saw the video as well.
So it's not an accident. They were there. The wife didn't just show up. They arrived in the car together, and the intention was to do something, not to drop a child off, not to see a neighbor, but to involve themselves in a dispute. Now, whether
they weren't naturally there. They're not driving to or from a friend's house. They went specifically to block that road, and they were blocking that road specifically to protest.
I don't know their purpose. I can assume by what they said, but the fact is they're intentionally blocking the road, and there are about 5 videos on it. The first 4 I watched, I wasn't sure what I was seeing. Some of them were grainy, some were bad, but then you see it's clear that the officer is hit. Okay.
You don't really see it that well until you see his angle, his body cam footage. Some of the other videos, you can make an argument that he wasn't hit.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary.
And he drops an F-bomb after getting hit, and he calls her name. And you and I had an argument about that because
it's unfortunate, but doesn't change whether or not his actions were justified.
What I'm saying is that the most natural responses came out of Rebecca Good, which is Renee's wife, and the officer. Rebecca Good is extremely combative. She says some ridiculously negative thing, calls him big boy, tells him, "Go get lunch, big boy. We'll be back," everything else. And then Rebecca Good screams, "Drive, drive."
Was it reasonable for that officer to think that Miss Good was going to drive as her wife is yelling at her to drive?
She drove.
She did drive.
Now, so that we're clear, Rebecca Good arrived with Renee Good to this road for no other purpose than to block the road. I don't want to make this assumption, but you see Rebecca Good trying to enter the car, and the door's locked. Now, the door wasn't locked when they pulled up because she got out of the car. And these are the things you have to pay attention to when you look at something, and you have to start evaluating this. And this is what attorneys do. For example, when you and I, if this was our case, and let's say somebody decided to sue.
Our case, who are we representing in this?
Either person. We would have to stare at every form of this video.
All right. Well,
and break it down piece by piece by piece.
If I'm representing Miss Good, I'll tell you facts that do not help. And that is the officer was in front of the car before it was placed into drive. He didn't, after the car was put in drive and start moving, he didn't move into the path of the car. That's not good for Miss Good. Well, that's a double entendre there. That's not great for Miss Good's case. He was where he's authorized to be there. They're trying to effectuate an arrest. He's allowed to be there. She's not allowed to disobey the commands of the officer.
Renee Good is looking directly at the officer in front of her car. She didn't by accident not see him. She's staring directly at him before her wife goes, "Drive, drive." She pulls it out of reverse, puts it into drive, and goes to peel off. Now, did she intend to hit him? I don't know if an officer can make that decision. If he thinks that she could be turning, that she might not hit him. But if you're standing in front of the car...
Well, here's the thing on that, Jeff.
That's a tough choice.
You're not allowed to put an officer in a position where he has to make that decision. You're not allowed to put an officer in fear of his life that I wonder, is she going to hit me? He doesn't have to wait until he's hit. He can take defensive action immediately. Where we are in this country where someone thinks that, okay, I don't have to get out of the car when law enforcement is telling me to get out of the car. This is as much the media's problem as it is anybody else's. They show things like this and make it sound like she didn't do anything wrong.
I don't believe it's the intention of any network to show you the truth. I think they cater to their audience and they cater to eyeballs. So whether it be, let's say Fox News going, this radical person to get people to listen, or CNN saying that these fascist people did it, they're catering to their audience and they're not catering to the truth. Nobody is.
It's like the football analogy I gave. It very much depends on whose team you want to win, determines what you see.
We are at a troubling point right now. And the answer is a scary one. And I'm gonna say it, and I don't like it because it goes against a lot of things I hold dear. And that is this. We have to stop caring. That is the only way we can even have a chance of finding the truth, because we care in biased ways based on what we want. This is about people being ordered to do a job and a group of people believing it's their job to get in the way of that. And when that happens, bad things are going to happen. And this woman's life did not have to be thrown away over.
Can I throw an opinion in here? This has been building for a long time. And there's lots and lots of people who could have been arrested for interfering with the operations that were going on, and they just weren't. And it's really kind of, I hate to say it's ICE's fault or law enforcement's fault, but what do you expect to happen if you don't arrest them when they do something wrong, even though it's minor? They're just going to keep escalating the behavior until they force you to shoot them or arrest them. So go ahead and arrest them early. If these folks had been arrested at their third or fourth ICE protest for interfering, do you think they would have pulled their car and blockaded the road like that? I don't think so. I think they would say, you know what? Let's go protest, which is absolutely their right to do. Go protest, but don't impede the work of law enforcement. Protest on the sidewalk, get your signs out, yell and scream anything you want. You're an American, you're allowed to do that. That's great. I want you to do that. But you can't block the road.
The sad part about this is her child was in school. Her 6-year-old child is in school while this couple is, deciding to get involved. And I think when it comes down to it, I don't think they thought about their child. Before I make an action or choose something, I do think about the effect it will have on my kid. If I choose to quit my job, I won't be able to pay for my kid. If I do something wrong, I get arrested, I won't be able to take care of my kid. In this situation, now you have a 6-year-old without a parent. The argument will be, well, she was doing it for her child's future. This was senseless and stupid.
Protesting is a great American pastime, especially lately, and we want you to be able to do it. But don't go and put yourself in a position where you're trying to be a martyr. Like, obviously, you want to call attention to something that you think is very important. The whole idea of you blocking the road is to force law enforcement to encounter you. You want them to arrest you. That's the thing that you're going to be able to use to change society. You want to be arrested. You want for people to see that you got arrested doing this. So if you're going to go and have these protests to make these points, the whole idea, the reason you're doing it is to be arrested. When they come and arrest you, don't run. Get out of the car and say, yes, I'm being arrested. I'm being arrested for fighting for what I believe in. That's what you need to say.
All right, big question. As lawyers, will the surviving spouse, Rebecca Good, have a case against the federal government for a civil rights violation? Because that's what this is. They have to sue under civil rights.
Probably not. There is layer upon layer of immunities for particularly federal law enforcement qualified immunity, sovereign immunity, and they would have to meet a lot of exceptions to even have a hope of withstanding the first motion to dismiss. So let's say they file something in court. The government's going to challenge it right away. And when they do, because they forced the situation, is going to disqualify them from any of the exceptions that would allow them to bring. Now, if the officer had shot at Miss Good and missed Miss Good, and let's say she was driving away, and the officer decided, you know what, I'm still going to continue to fire my gun, even though there's other people standing behind. Now, the people who got shot as he was shooting at her trying to flee, if you can make the argument that he put those people in danger recklessly, those folks would have a good argument.
Currently, based on my preliminary research on this, I've done research. The only case that basically ruled in favor against the immunity was a 1971 ruling, Bivens versus 6 unnamed known agents. And it dealt with a Fourth Amendment issue. And since then, it's been whittled down. It's almost impossible. So I think even in a case, I think that might work in state court if it was a state police officer. But I think federal officers are still going to be protected because the Supreme Court in the last, 50 years have made it almost impossible to go after the federal government in cases like this. So I don't think based on what we're looking at, based on anything we've seen, and based on the difficulty of cracking immunity, that they can go anywhere. But that's what lawyers are for. Today, we're fortunate enough to have the mayor of Orange County, Mayor Jerry Demings. Mayor, can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I'm honored to be with you today.
I can tell you, when I get to talk to people, I love their histories normally. Sometimes they just have such creative histories that I'm like blown away by it, because very rarely have I ever known anybody to go from law enforcement, like 20 years as a police officer, to mayor, and then the next step, potentially governor.
Well, that is probably going to be something that is fairly unique. I have been a public servant now. I've started my 45th year of being a public servant. Come a long way from being a street cop here in the city of Orlando. Started out just as a patrol officer. I was fortunate to rise in rank to become the 34th chief of police in Orlando. I was appointed chief of police in 1998. Retired from the agency after 21 years, and then became a deputy county administrator. Went to work for Orange County and managed most of its public safety components, including the jail, including the fire department, and several other components. And then in 2008, I ran for sheriff, and I was elected sheriff. I was the 28th elected sheriff, and served 3 terms as sheriff. And then after that, on December the 4th, 2018, the first 12 hours of the day, I was a sheriff. And the second 12 hours of the day, I became the 5th elected countywide mayor in Orange County. And so I've been serving as mayor. I'm now in my second and final term with about 1 year left. My term will end in December of 2026.
You know, I got to tell you, there are a lot of things I aspire to, things I want to take shots at and everything else like that. But in this climate, politics are rough, and everything you do is scrutinized in every bit. And you've been a police officer, you're now mayor, and you're going, you know what would be a good idea? I think I want to tone it down a little bit, and I want to be governor. I mean, is this a conversation you have at the table with your wife, or are you just like going, I think I can do great work here?
Yes, I do believe I can do great work, first off, but it is a conversation that you do have to have with your family, because when you run for political office, your family is running, your friends are running, your coworkers are running. What I mean by that is they all are under scrutiny when you run for elected office. And when you move up to running to be the top chief executive for the state of Florida, That's a big deal. It's a big deal, and there's a tremendous opportunity there to continue my level of service. And so I'm a public servant first, and my style of leadership is one of being a servant leader. I like solving problems. I'm a problem solver. I have been pulled into numerous extraordinary leadership opportunities over the years, from managing such things as dealing with a barricaded gunman situation, a hostage situation, to responding to a terror attack, to being involved in responding to weather phenomena like a hurricane, to now even managing a global pandemic. All of those things are pretty extraordinary for any human being, but when you have been the person that has been in charge or in a strong leadership role where people can die, there's really nothing like that. But I like what I do. So it's not so much like work. I'm simply running now to do what I do, solving problems on behalf of working class people every day. I'm looking to take that to the state level and to broaden out. Quite frankly, I'm like many people. I've grown frustrated with the divisive, toxic politics of today, and I'm looking to kind of bring back some normalcy, some diplomacy to how local governments interact with their state government. Because right now, due to preemptions and other things, it's almost like the federal government believes that everything is federal, and the state believes everything is state related, and they've left the local governments to trying to figure it out on our own without a lot of assistance. So I do look forward to bridging the gap between the state and local governments and getting back to some sense of normalcy.
A lot of people, when they hop into positions, they have all these great ideas of what they want to do, and then they feel that they're limited, either by their party, the law, the amount of money you can spend. I mean, you have this budget in Orange County. Now you're going to have a budget for the whole state of Florida, and everybody wants a piece of that. I mean, over the last couple of years, what have you done to be able to go, okay, I got to decide what's important and what's not? I can't even imagine the strain of everybody coming at you for something.
What I would tell you is that, yes, almost every need within our community requires some type of financial resolution. Every Board of County Commission meeting, when people come with their various concerns, needs, advocacies, they're coming asking for money to solve those issues. But as a local division of government, we have a finite amount of money. Most of the funds that we receive are generated by ad valorem taxes and then some other assessments of fees that can be charged. And we also get a fair amount of federal dollars coming back into our community and state dollars that come back into our community. But the overwhelming majority of the dollars that we have are not being paid for directly by those who are receiving the services, because quite frankly, some of those people cannot afford to pay for them. I'm talking about people who are homeless, people who struggle with housing affordability. I'm talking about people who can't afford health care. But as a society, as a community, we've got to take care of them. And so how do we do that? And so, yes, I've been trained to manage all of those types of things. And unlike the federal government, a local government cannot spend one dime more than what it takes in, what is budgeted. And so I'm used to that, trying to make things meet and managing a budget. Orange County's budget today is about $8.4 billion. The state's budget is over $110 billion in terms of scale. But none of us have enough money to do everything that needs to be done. But I am a manager of money. I know how to do that, how to make the priorities and how to stretch the dollars and how to also leverage the dollars that we have with private sector investments. Many of these issues that we wrestle with as a community will require the corporate community to also partner with us in coming up with the solutions. We also go to the philanthropic community, the nonprofit world, to help us bridge the gap so that we can adequately respond. But no matter what we do, we don't ever have enough money to do everything that people want us to do.
You know, that's the problem with leadership. You have to make tough choices. And one of the toughest choices is who you hire, because you're only one person. You can't do it on your own. And sometimes I've seen this in the past where people hire people who are completely unqualified to do something for a wrong reason. Oh, he was my friend here, is my friend there. I mean, you've done so many jobs, and I know you know how important it is to get the right person in that job. You know, what kind of vetting process do you do when you're going, okay, this is a serious job? You know, I got to trust the person, but I got to make sure he's got the right skills.
What I look for is, especially in senior leadership, I look for that leadership to come from diverse backgrounds, but I also look for that leadership to be well experienced. I want them to be well trained. You can go to the nation's higher education institutions. You can go to some of the best law enforcement or fire academies to learn your skill. But there still is no substitute for experience. You will not be your best self until you can couple your training, your knowledge, and your abilities with experience. And so for me, I'm well experienced now, you know, after 45 years and a multitude of titles that I've held over that period of time. What I do have is experience. It's easy to lead when things are going well. Yeah. But it's very difficult to lead when things are going terribly wrong. In my career, listen, I've had to lead when things were going terribly wrong. And as a governor, that is something that a governor has to do, has to be capable to manage the budget, manage the myriad of issues that the state will have, and then manage when the state is in crises. I likely will be the only person that will enter this gubernatorial race that comes with crisis management experience. Well, I've been there when people have been shot. I've been there when people's homes have flooded. I've been there when we had a terror attack. I had to walk through the Pulse nightclub facility. I had to look in the eyes of the men and women who have been in, who saw a terrible tragedy, a mass killing that occurred. I've had to look them in their eyes. I've had to encourage them that they can continue to come to work every day. That is a skill set that few will ever bring to the table, because what I'm saying is that's real life experiences that I've had to deal with. I've had to deal with when my employees were had to come to work during the global pandemic, and some of them were infected with COVID. Some of them died as a result of COVID-19. I had relatives who died as a result of catching COVID. I'm a real human being. I'm probably one of the few people in my 37 and a half years of law enforcement experience. I had to arrest my own brother. I've had to arrest my own nephew in order to break a cycle that they were in. And so I have some common sense solutions to some of the everyday types of problems that average people wrestle with.
A lot of times now we're electing people we like. We don't look at their resumes a lot of times. Oh, I liked what he said. I liked the sound bite. I liked, and this is the culture we're at right now. The louder people scream, the more people are listening, the more entertaining it is. How do you cross over where you're going to go, listen, I have to get people who are not going to be able to listen long enough to my message. I need them to like me. And it seems a silly thing to do. But I guess, how do you get in front of the individuals without, a ton of social media clips?
Well, I'm going to have to run a campaign, and this campaign is going to have to be a grassroots campaign all over the state of Florida. the role that I have today is a nonpartisan role. I did not get elected as mayor of Orange County as a Democrat or as a Republican. I just happened to have been a Democrat. Even as sheriff, while that was a partisan race, I was elected 5 times, 3 general elections, 2 primaries as a Democrat. But out of those 7 elections that I have been involved with, this one is different. It's different. But regardless of how I may get to the governor's mansion, I would represent all the people of the state of Florida, not just those who might be Democrats or Republicans or no party affiliate or other minor parties, but I will be their governor. And so a certain amount of what any politician has to go through is, yes, there's a certain amount of likability that people want to see. A certain amount of popularity, I think, may get you there. But at the end of the day, the people want someone, I believe, who can do the job. The job, no matter how good or bad things may be. They want someone who they can depend on to lead. I believe because of the divisive nature of the partisan politics that we're seeing today, I believe the average person wants to see someone who can bring us back together, who can help unify us across political lines, and may from time to time disagree about the politics of the day, but remain a person that is not disagreeable. In my 45 years of public service, I like to say that I'm pretty much drama free. I'm not a person that brings a lot of drama to what I'm doing. I try to look for balance. I always will involve the people in making decisions for themselves. That's been my style of leadership. I want to make sure that the people who I put in place can do the jobs that the people want them to do. And I always ask 3 questions about when I elevate people into senior management roles. I ask a question of them, okay, tell me how what we're doing is going to benefit the people that we serve. The second question I always ask is, what is this going to cost to save? And the third question I always ask is, how is this going to impact our employees? Because I'll be responsible for all of the state's employees. And I can tell you that I'm somewhat concerned about the pay for our state employees. I think it's too low. We have to address that. But I also think that the pay that we're paying average citizens in the state of Florida is too low. I believe that the cost of living in Florida is too high. So I'm going to be laser focused on working with our business and private sector to look for ways to bring those costs down, to look for inefficiencies. And yes, government sometimes has funds and we don't use it in the most efficient way. But I don't mind people holding me accountable for the taxpayer dollars. But by the same token, I hold others accountable for managing the respective areas that they hold. And so because of my background and my experience, my training, I'm able to manage budgets and situations and incidents, no matter how bad or good they are.
You know, I hear that, and I know everything you've done, and it's amazing, you know, being affiliated with a party that is not technically in the majority, maybe 1 or 2 points off, that you seem to get a large push from the other side. You know, a lot of conservatives vote for you because they like that you were in law enforcement. They like that you understood the need for responsibility and that people be held accountable. And this is a question that I heard asked in California about a year ago when they asked a politician. They said, how do you reach that other side? And the person answered in a clearly negative way, like they didn't understand what it was going to be like to run. Because to me, I was going, are you kidding? You got to hit both sides, especially when you're not in the majority. And I think somebody like you has a chance of breaking over that, where somebody could go, wait a minute, I've seen more than anybody who is trying to get this job right now. And this is what I want to do. So how do you convince conservatives and people who have been stuck in the way, who just check the box on the left side? They just go all the way down. They don't even look. How do you get them to go check that and then move over to the left and then go back to what they were doing?
Well, I've been around a long time now, and most of the people who are running in this race, they may not have a record. I have a record of performing for decades now. And how do you convince them? Again, you got to communicate. And so I will have a whole communications plan of action. I encourage people who want to know more about me. They can go to my website at jerrydemingsforgovernor.org. Again, jerrydemingsforgovernor.org. Also, secondly, I wrote a book this past summer. I'm not trying to sell the book, but if somebody is so inclined, they can go get the book that I wrote. And the title of the book is Believe, Faith, Truth, and the Courage to Lead. Believe, Faith, Truth, and the Courage to Lead. And the book really talks about who I am. One thing about me, I'm going to be my authentic self. I'm not going to just give answers to people that they want to hear. I'm going to tell them the truth about what I think about the issues and how we can together resolve those issues. And sometimes I think politicians get caught up into over promising. But I will make promises about certain things, but I'm not going to over promise. I am who I am, and my background of coming out of blue collar, working class family household that didn't have much, from two parents who never had the opportunity to go to college, a father who worked multiple jobs but took care of his family, to be able to get to the place where I am today, where I can sit with presidents and other heads of state, where I have had the opportunity to talk to kings and queens, but right down to the person who is homeless on the street. I treat all of them with dignity, with respect. I'm willing to have that conversation with the person who can't sometimes offer me anything politically. What they can offer me is a realization that they are a human being, and I treat them that way, like they're a human being. And so that's who Jerry Demings is. If you go up on Amazon, you put in Demings, Jerry Demings, the book will pop up. I started writing the book on June the 21st. Of this year. I finished writing the book on July the 22nd of this year. The book was self-published on August the 2nd, and on August the 11th of this year, on Amazon, it reached one of the #1 bestsellers on Amazon. What a story. The book isn't just about me. It does give some examples of where, as an ordinary person, I've had the opportunity to do some extraordinary things and lead and bring about change to the good for others. But the book really is about the reader, where I'm encouraging the reader to use certain methods to walk in their passion, to live a lifestyle of service where they don't make it just about themselves, where they make it about taking care of someone else, where they believe that they, as one person, can be the change that others want to see. And so I'm a living witness of that. And as I run this campaign, I'm calling it the I Believe campaign, because I am a man of faith. So it does talk about how faith played a role in my maturation during life. But also, I believe faith plays a role regardless of one's religious beliefs. Faith, you got to believe in something. You got to believe that you can do it. You got to believe that you can become your best self. It's about encouraging others to reach their full potential. And so here I am, as I am running for governor. I'm running because I think that I have something to offer. I believe that I can offer some leadership and some solutions to the myriad of issues that average people struggle with every day, because I'm an average person.
You know, I love all that. I think it's important for us to, whatever we have inside, to use that to help others. You wake up in the governor's mansion the first day. Now, this is a generic question. What is that #1 priority? On that first day, you go, if I don't get anything accomplished, I want to get this accomplished.
Well, the first day, I will be excited to get to work for the people of Florida. And it is that feeling of excitement that I have. I made it. I'm here now, so let me get to work. If you love what you do, then you've heard it before, then you'll never work a day in your life. And so for me, taking my public service, my servant leadership attitude into the governor's mansion, into the governor's office, is just an extraordinary opportunity. We've never had a person from the Metro Atlanta area serve as governor. We've never had a Black person serve as governor in this state. And so I realized that from day one, not only will I represent myself and my family, but I'll represent a belief that you can be the underdog and you can win and you can make a difference. I'll be a shining example, a role model, hopefully, for others to believe that they too can do some extraordinary things. And I won't ever forget that, no matter what happens. And as I would sit in the governor's office, I will never forget the struggle that I had as a poor kid growing up, the struggle that my family had, some of the struggles that I've had in leadership. I won't ever forget who I am. I want to remain my authentic self. And so that's what I would look for that first day. Get up. I made it. Now let's get to work. Let's do what we promised the people of Florida we would do.
I can't thank you enough for making the time. And just so everyone knows, the interview is in a car, but he's been parked for the last 25 minutes. So I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh, he's driving. No, he's not driving. He pulled over. He's been sitting in this car sweating in the Florida temperatures for the last 25 minutes. So thank you very much, Mayor Demings, and good luck with everything. And I hope you do what you got to do.
I'm going to work hard to try to convince the people of Florida that I'm the right person at the right time. And you're right, I'm sitting in my car because I'm multitasking these days. I have many demands for my time. I have promised the people of Orange County that I'm going to continue to give them everything I can during this next year with being the mayor of Orange County, and simultaneously give me some grace as I run across the state, as I travel this state, talking to others. If I win, Orange County wins. If I win, Central Florida wins. If I want the working class families to know if I win, they win. Well, so thank you for having me on the show today. I look forward to coming back sometime in the near future.
I look forward to having you. Take care, and I appreciate your time. Well, that wraps up today's show. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to my two co-hosts, my good friend, professional comedian James John, and my law partner, Craig Lind. This show is sponsored by Kaufman Lind. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyounneedus.com.